Okay, so good evening, everybody. We are in for the practical section, the technical section for today's blockchain week event. So we'll be having a very short technical section where we give us an intro to becoming a blockchain developer. I am right here on our page, and I will be your host for today, Marcellus. Okay, so overview of what has happened so far. In the morning section, we to the evolution of the web, web 1.0, web 2.0, web 3.0, down to web 3.0, where we highlighted blockchain as a technology and the opportunities it presents. So this evening section, we are going to be talking about actual blockchain development. Now, I will not start without giving an intro to who made this event possible. So Agulite here at Agulite, we are a young startup that focuses on training and developing individuals to become core or full stack blockchain developers. We do this by matching individuals with experts already in the field. Okay, we have activities like blockchain development, Web3 software engineering, as well as mobile app development. But we are starting with blockchain development. So today we are going to dive right into becoming a blockchain developer. And it's a very light section, and it is all predefined. You can do this ahead. After this section, you can do it on your own. You must not follow me, but you can just go through the section and carry out your own activity. I guarantee you it's more like a 3 to 7 day section activity on your own where you can start up your blockchain development path. Okay, so Agulite as a company is backed up by a utility token that tries as much as possible to reward the holders. But let's not get into the token aspect of it. So if you go to www.agulite.com, you will get to this our landing page. So go simply to become a blockchain developer, and this will open the blockchain page where we have a countdown to our next cohort. I'll be starting our full 5 months development cohort. So just have that in the back of your mind. But for this session, we'll be going through the free resources. Now we have a free resources, it's 7 days free resources. Now, depending on how fast you can go through it on your own pace, but we have a free 7 days resources that anybody from anywhere can go through and start up their journey as a blockchain developer. Okay, so now is outline on what you will be getting for the whole 5 months, the full 5 months package. You can even go as far as downloading the syllabus to ensure that you see what you're getting at the end of the day. So download the syllabus, you go through it, you know what you're going to get at the end of the 5 months. Okay, fine and good. Let's go straight to becoming a blockchain developer. Now, clicking on start now, you will be redirected to our a Slack channel that has all the modules you need to get started as a blockchain developer. Okay, so for the experience is going to be different for new time users. Now I'm already logged into Slack. You'll be requested to either create an account, either download the Slack app, and then proceed. For ourselves, we're already logged into Slack, and first thing you are going to see is the instructions. Okay, so we have a set of instructions, very straightforward instructions in Slack. You introduce yourself. First instruction is to introduce yourself on the general channel, your name, and what you want to get, what you want the group to know about you. Very straightforward. So there is a general channel, general feedback. You go there, you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is I'm Marcellus Songpon. Okay. I'm a Web3. Okay, so very straightforward. So this depends on what you want to know about yourself. Your parents is that I'm a blockchain developer, depending on what you want to know about yourself. So I can say I'm going to expert, I'm a blockchain developer. So very straightforward. That is the very first step on the instruction. Introduce yourself on the general channel and proceed. Now, the next instruction, which is also very important, is at the end of each module. Now, for you to become a blockchain developer through the Agulite path, this is the free version. You have three different modules, module 1, 2, and 3. But on coming to the platform, you are going to have access to module 1. Now, at the end of each module, there is a little assessment to ensure that you are on the right track. That is meant to happen. Now, follow the instructions. Some of the assessments will ask you to carry out the data activity. Share the link on the Slack bot, directly on the Slack bot, and then the Slack bot will give you access to the next module. Okay, so that's the second and probably the most important instruction for the free version of becoming a blockchain developer part. Okay, so let's go straight to the first module. Okay, so for the first module, like we said, is a pretty basic module. We are giving everybody a background to blockchain development. When you say a background to blockchain development, we are trying as much as possible to make it simplified so that anybody coming in the space will find it easy to get the ball rolling. Okay, so we have what is Ethereum blockchain. So this is one of these after the blockchain Bitcoin network. Ethereum network is one of the most popular. It is the second most popular blockchain network out there. Now, we will be working majorly on Ethereum blockchain network as well as EVM compatible, that is Ethereum virtual machine compatible networks. So for if you think if these are a little bit big words for you, but don't worry, we are going to break it down through this module. Now, taking us through this module, we have a few definition of what how the Ethereum blockchain network actually came to be. I have additional resources on the particular protocols we'll be working on. There are token protocol as well as the NFT ARC 721 protocol. Okay, so so that we can make this as less technical as possible, once you go through the link, you'll be allowed to go to additional resources, which will give you a more in-depth view on what you are expecting as a blockchain developer. So I will advise us to take out time to go through the resources. Going through the resources is going to give us an additional advantage as we go through our journey as a blockchain developer. Okay, back to base. Now, after going through the resources, you'll be asked to carry out a few activities. Now, we added an additional resource, 2 video resources that will give you a wonderful insight on the fundamentals of blockchain technology, especially Ethereum-based blockchain network. Okay, so go through the resources, go through the videos, and carry out the first activity. Now, for module 1, the first activity is very straightforward. Now, on going through this and going through the resources, we are going to understand what Etherscan is all about. Etherscan is a platform that allows us to see the activity happening on the Ethereum blockchain network. Okay, so on going through the resources, we are going to get to know about this. And the first assessment we are going to carry out is look at Etherscan, pick out a particular transaction, take note of the following details, tweet about it, and then send the URL to your tweet on the Slack bot. Now, on sending it on the Slack bot will give you access to the second module. Now, that is as simple as it is. Okay, it should take a typical, someone that is willing to go into blockchain development, give or take 3 to 5 hours to go through this first module. Now, going through the first module will give you access to the next module. Now, the next module, we are done with introductions. We are done with the little bits of what you need to know about EVM compatible networks. Now, we are getting right into the tool of it. Now, for us to be effective as blockchain developers, we'll be looking at tools and a few things things that we need to have at the back of our head while going through this process. First of all, we are going to look at basic tools that we need to set up to drive and learn blockchain development. One of it is wallets. We're looking at different types of wallets. We're going to be going on through activities that will allow us to have, we call it fake tokens, but these are test tokens, these are test nets. I know my senior colleague in the morning talked about the difference between testnet and learnnet. Between this module 2, we will be going through testnet and learnnet and how to obtain tokens that we're using to test as blockchain developers. After which, we'll now go deep into the fundamentals of Solidity. Now, Solidity programming is fundamental and one of the most popular programming language for creating smart contracts, which is these are contracts that run on the blockchain network. So we'll be going through Solidity, the basic on Solidity, and we've attached two very voluminous resources that will give us a hand-on on how we are going to go through Solidity. Now, Crypto Zombie is my favorite. Yes, it's a step-by-step approach, a more practical approach in learning Solidity, but it's going to give us a hand on Solidity as a programming language. Okay, so let us not be afraid. You do not need to be a coding ninja for you to start blockchain development, but at least you should know the basics of programming for you to start. So Crypto Zombie gives you a basic hand on Solidity programming. Okay, so next we talk about JavaScript. JavaScript is very important. It's very important in today's programming language. And yes, while working on blockchain network, we are going to work on smart contracts, which is going to work more like put the database and the logic, and then you have to work on the view that's going to give an interface between the users and the smart contract created. For that we'll be using JavaScript. So this is like a refresher on what we need to learn about JavaScript. Now, this is a little video that will give us a little refresher on JavaScript if you are rusty on your JavaScript game. Next, we go on to the text editors. Now, text editor, the most popular and widely used text editor for testing out and running out our smart contract Solidity codes mainly is the Remix. So Remix IDE. So these two videos will give us a deep insight on setting up Remix IDE and then a little utility on how to go about using it. And then finally, we have the module 2 assessment. Okay, so for the assessment for the second module, we are going to create a wallet. A wallet is very simple. We store a wallet, we create an address. Now this address is going to be our test address. We are going to use it to run this free blockchain development path. And always, yes, do keep your private key very secure. For the public address, you're going to share it to the Slack bot. And then secondly, you're going to run and collect a set of fake ethers, that's fake tokens, using one ether, half ether, depending on which you are working with. But let's work with the Ethereum network first of all. So you get fake ethers, and after that activity, we now go forward in dropping the message to the channel. And from there, we can know that most of us going through and have achieved this activity must have gone through this module 2 successfully. Okay, so typically it will take us between 1 to 3 hours to go through this module 2. Now, widely encourage us to take our time and go through this module 2. Now, upon completing the assessment, okay, upon completing the assessment, you are going to submit a few wordings to the Slack bot. Now, the Slack bot is going to give you access to the third module. Now, the third module is the final module for the free blockchain development part. It's provided by Agulite. Now, the third module is very straightforward. This is where we get hands-on on development. We're going to talk about introduction to smart contracts. Like I said, smart contracts are basically codes written on blockchain, predefined logic and instructions given to a set of code on blockchain. So we'll learn more about smart contracts. We're going to create our own first smart contract using the IDE, the Remix IDE. Okay, so it is very straightforward. We try that as much as possible to create a basic smart contract activity. We create our very first task, after which we carry out the module 3 assessment. And the module 3 assessment is also very straightforward. We copy, after going out creating our very first smart contract, we copy the smart contract URL from the Etherscan, we share, we take a screenshot smart contract, and then we share it on Twitter, and then forward the URL as usual to the Slack bot. Now, updating this, the Slack bot will give us access to the next step of blockchain development. This is the full path, and this is where you are going to go through. Okay, as a blockchain developer, this is where you are going to go through the next part. Now, for you to get into the next step, depending on how, when the cohort is starting, try as much as possible. Everybody that will be completing this cohort before the next 5 years, 5 days, is going to get access to a 20% discount for our next cohort. Our next cohort will be taking us through the following activities to become a full-fledged blockchain developer. We try as much as possible to also connect us to opportunities within the blockchain space. And so that is how we are planned. Most of us are coming through the blockchain path to go through the free 7-day section that's going to give us an introduction to blockchain development. Okay? So I believe if there are any questions, take it down in the chat area. This is mainly to give us an intro, and this is get us started as blockchain developers. Now, for the main part, like we say, for the next 5 days, go through it. Once you are done, okay. So, if there are any questions, we'll take question. If there are not, we'll proceed to the next part. So, are there any questions? Okay. So we'll be taking questions during the chat area. Just drop your questions in the chat here, we'll reply to them, and then proceed. Okay, so like we said, a little recap. Go to the website agulite.com. On getting to agulite.com, click on developers or become a blockchain developer. This will take you to the page agulite.com/blockchain development. You can as well download the syllabus to see what and what you have in store, what and what you're going to go through to become a blockchain developer, or you can simply enroll. Now, this is going to give you access to 3 different tiers: the free version, the monthly access, and the full 5-month access. Okay, so the most recommended is the 5 months, where you save up a lot of money. Okay, but going to the free access for everybody that's going to be participating for this blockchain week, going to the free access and completing the classes, you get access to the free 3 modules that gives you an introduction to blockchain development. Every single person that completes this module before the end of this blockchain week will get a whopping 20% discount on the 25th of April, when we start the first cohort, blockchain development. Okay. Okay, so with that said, I will make it a point of duty. You can always reach out. We're going to have a 1-hour section every evening, 4 to 5, depending on how Q&A happens. We are going to have a live section every evening by 4 p.m. to take on questions on the free module, questions, suggestions, anybody that finds anything here difficult. We're going to have a 1-hour section between now and when the cohorts will start. So we take up questions, we give clarity, we carry out a little activities of blockchain development, just to make sure that there is feedback between the experts and the individual starting the blockchain path. Okay, so with that said, we thank everybody that came in for this section. We hope that you take advantage of the free tier that will be available between now when we're starting the next cohort, the bonuses attached to it. And we hope that you have a very wonderful journey on your quest towards becoming a blockchain developer. Do not hesitate to drop your comments and your question on the chat area in the community group. Respond to them as soon as possible. And if there's any other questions or additional contribution, do contribute on. Thank you for coming in. See you on tomorrow's section as we're having our first panel section with the legal advisor and the top blockchain CEO, blockchain crypto payment platform CEO. Okay, so thank you very much. Do have a wonderful day.